The galactic threat. The galaxy had known peace for barely a decade. After centuries of interstellar wars, the newly formed human coalition had begun establishing a presence among the stars, forging trade routes, and cautiously negotiating with alien civilizations. Yet peace is often fragile, and the dominion of Xylaris, an ancient empire of ruthless diplomats and merciless enforcers, saw humanity's rise as a provocation. On the night the threat arrived, Earth's orbital defense arrays detected a transmission unlike anything before. Encrypted in layers of psychic resonance and quantum code, it was unmistakable, a message of war. "Humans," the Xylaris envoy intoned, their multi-limbed shadow flickering across the holographic screen. "Your kind trespasses where it does not belong. Surrender, or your planet will burn, and your leaders' heads will decorate our council halls." The message ended with a visual, a chilling display of dozens of alien heads mounted like trophies in the imperial throne room of Xylaris. The galaxy collectively shuddered. On Earth, the Council of Nations convened an emergency session. Dr. Helena Corvin, chief strategist for the Earth Defense Directorate, leaned over the table, eyes narrowing. "They think fear can sway us. They are wrong." Admiral Rourke Donovan, veteran of the Mars Reclamation Campaign, slammed a fist on the table. "Our fleets are ready. They've never faced humans united like this. We don't negotiate with tyrants. We respond in kind." And so the plan was born. Earth would answer in a language the Dominion understood, decisive, symbolic, and brutal. The human response. Over the next 2 days, Earth mobilized. Alien diplomats who had arrived under peaceful pretenses, ambassadors from minor Xylaris-aligned worlds, were discreetly apprehended. They were not harmed without purpose. Each head sent would serve as a message, carefully calculated, to echo across the Dominion's nerve network. Lieutenant Mara Chen oversaw the operations from the orbital station Aegis 1. "We need this precise," she told her team. "One misstep and it becomes a massacre, not a warning." At precisely 10:03 Standard Earth time, the first transmission was sent. Across the Dominion's communications channels, a live feed appeared. The heads of the captured diplomats, encased in transparent gravitic containment, rotating slowly in eerie silence. Each head had a data tag, a holographic signature encoding humanity's demand: "Cease your threats or suffer the consequences of your arrogance." The message was undeniable. The Dominion's council chambers erupted in confusion and horror. Emperor Carvix, seated atop his obsidian throne, banged his clawed hands against the armrest. "What is this insolence?" "Humans," his aide hissed, "they've responded as you threatened. Each diplomat, a warning to us." Panic spread. The Xylaris were masters of intimidation, but humans, who had survived annihilation attempts on Earth, endured colonization, and fought countless insurgencies, had a different kind of resolve. The psychological impact of this counter-message sent shockwaves through their political hierarchy. The Galactic Crisis. 4:27 minutes, the Dominion scrambled. Subcommittees argued over the proper response. Fleets were scrambled, but confusion reigned. Humans were unpredictable, and now they had shown themselves capable of ruthless precision. Every orbital station, every diplomatic enclave, and every Imperial Fleet command received the visual warning, forcing indecision at every level. Meanwhile, Earth's ambassadors, alien and human, continued their work. Through hacked Dominion networks, human strategists amplified the fear of rebellion and the inevitability of retaliation. Rumors spread faster than orders. The humans had intelligence agents on every world, and no Xylaris envoy was safe. Loyalty cracked. Planets began questioning their allegiance, seeing the Dominion's control as fragile. On the ground in Dominion-held space, small uprisings erupted. Colonists, oppressed for decades, took advantage of the temporary paralysis, seizing stations and supply depots. The heads of the diplomats were more than a threat. They were a signal that humanity would act with precision and resolve. At 10:30 Standard Time, the Empire's command network began to fail. Automated systems, once reliable, shut down in fear of tampering. Human cyber operatives had embedded virus payloads in the visual transmission, a silent, calculated strike that destabilized the Dominion's ability to coordinate. The turning point. The decisive moment came when Admiral Donovan ordered a symbolic strike against the Dominion's Central Command hub orbiting the planet Torgax 6. Human strike teams, augmented with AI-guided drones, disabled the defensive grids without firing a shot at civilians. The Dominion's fleets were left vulnerable, and panic spread among commanders. Within the hour, entire sectors declared neutrality or outright rebellion. Alien worlds, inspired by Earth's audacity, began coordinated uprisings. The Dominion's centuries-long reign of fear unraveled faster than any weapon could achieve. In the Emperor's throne room, Karvix's advisors pleaded for mercy, for reason, for negotiation, but the humans had already withdrawn their threats. They had achieved maximum effect without engaging in full-scale combat. The Dominion had underestimated humanity's ability to turn psychology, diplomacy, and cunning into a weapon. By the end of the day, the Empire was fractured. The central authority was effectively gone. Planets that had once been subjugated declared independence. Rebel factions consolidated. And Earth, standing firm and resolute, had delivered a message that would be remembered for centuries. Humanity's cunning, courage, and resolve could not be ignored. Aftermath. The new galactic order. In the weeks following the incident, Earth worked to stabilize newly liberated worlds, establishing trade agreements, defense pacts, and humanitarian aid. The heads of the diplomats, kept as holographic memorials rather than physical trophies, served as stark reminders of the consequences of underestimating a unified humanity. Scholar Lyra Tan, reporting to the United Earth Council, wrote, "The brilliance of this action was not cruelty, it was clarity. Humanity sent a message that transcended traditional warfare, that intimidation alone cannot subdue an intelligent, determined species. Strategy, courage, and symbolism can achieve what fleets and weapons sometimes cannot." The Dominion, now fractured, would never regain its former strength. Former vassal worlds aligned with Earth, seeking protection and cooperation rather than oppression. The galaxy had witnessed the rise of humanity as a true power, one that could protect itself, project influence, and act decisively when provoked. Lyra Kane's legacy, echoed in humanity's earlier triumphs, became a blueprint for the coalition's diplomacy and defense strategy. Psychological mastery, intelligence, and courage could topple even empires without a single conventional battle. Ending humanity's message. Years later, historians would describe the 27-minute collapse as the moment the galaxy realized the humans were no ordinary species. A single message, a threat, answered decisively, had changed political, military, and cultural dynamics across dozens of systems. In classrooms on Earth and in free colonies, children learned the story of humanity's first galactic stand, how an empire's overconfidence and threats were met with clarity, precision, and audacious intelligence. It became a lesson in courage, unity, and the power of symbolic action. And though the alien diplomats' heads were never forgotten, they were not seen as trophies or acts of cruelty. They were a testament to humanity's resolve, a warning to tyrants, and a promise that Earth would defend itself and its allies with unmatched cunning and determination. The galaxy had learned one eternal truth. Underestimate humans at your peril.